Right now in Las Vegas, CinemaCon is going on, and it's a pretty big event. A lot of movies have been shown. The Flash was shown to people. It's an unfinished version of The Flash, and it confirms a lot that I suspected about the movie, that it's good. Now, usually when you get first reactions, I wouldn't pay too much attention to them because, let's be honest, usually it's a bunch of shills. But I've heard something else about this movie, and I've talked about it in previous videos. It's the fact that the movie has a good audience score. So this movie has gotten test screenings under its belt for a while, and the one thing that I've consistently heard about it from some people is that it has good audience scores. People like it. In fact, it's got the same test audience scores as No Way Home. So I think this movie's probably going to do really good in the theaters. In fact, I think it could probably hit $1 billion because it has a lot of the elements that made No Way Home special, and that's nostalgia number one. Michael Keaton as Batman, who supposedly razzles and dazzles this entire movie. And it's somewhat unfortunate because it's good for Michael Keaton. I like Michael Keaton. I know he said some crazy shit, but the dude is the Batman that I know. It's kind of cool that he's back. However, Ezra Miller is not cool. I don't like the shit he's done. And I'm not going to give money to watch this movie. There might be other ways that I can watch it, but I definitely will not be going to the theaters to watch this movie. But you know what? A lot of people will. A lot of people don't pay attention to the crazy shit that this man has done because the media barely covered it. They talked about it a little bit, but as this movie now gets massive press, right? Think about the stories that we've covered here on this channel. This movie's getting massive press now. Emotional. Some people crying. The movie will have legs. Now, if this was Johnny Depp in a movie, or somebody the media didn't like, that didn't have special identity protections, they would also put the headline of the shit that they're being accused of on this. Ezra Miller gets no such coverage whatsoever. All Ezra Miller gets is positive headlines right now. That's going to be a little bit of the difference. A lot of people don't pay attention to this stuff. This movie's probably going to do really good. I've said for a while I think it could hit $1 billion. I think it will. I think it's going to be the movie of the summer because it's going to have good word of mouth. And there's not really too much as far as superhero stuff in its way. DC's the only company really releasing really released any superhero movies this year. Marvel's just got the Guardians of the Galaxy, and then I think the Marvels, and that's it. But they're dumping all of their Flashpoint shit, their original before their new plans movies this year. So this comes out with all of its positive reactions. Tons of good reactions for it. The Flash is hands down one of the best superhero films of all time. No joke. The Flash is the ultimate movie-going experience. It has a little bit of everything. Action, emotion, heart, humor, and plenty of nostalgia. Ezra Miller is phenomenal as Dual Barry Allen's. Michael Keaton, probably amazing. It cuts off there. So, like I said, nobody's talking about any of the bad behavior he did anymore. Enough time has passed. This worked out for Warner Brothers, where, basically they delayed the movie to try to get as much of that bad press of him under the water. And it worked. Everyone is praising this movie. And the only reason I give any credit to it is because of the fact that I know those test audience scores. And the fact that they're up there with No Way Home, that's kind of a big deal. There's Jeff Snyder, The Flash. First hour is pretty fantastic. Strikes the perfect tone. Ezra is great, heroic, funny, emotional. The last hour is mostly terrible, just an utter mess that will leave you asking what the hell is going on. Fan service and DC villain problems strike again. Mixed bag overall. Just scanned initial reactions. Embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for my profession. Not even a whiff of criticism. A bunch of easy lays. I tell you, there are only a handful of critical voices you can trust these days. It's sad, and yes, I know this tweet is going to get me killed. And he says, best superhero movie I've ever seen. David Zaslav has not seen The Crow, Logan, Kick-Ass, or most superhero movies. Oh, Kick-Ass is a great movie. So is The Crow and Logan. Logan's honestly the best superhero movie ever made. The problem with Logan, though, is it's a depressing-ass movie. It's not a movie you want to sit down and watch over and over again, like No Way Home or something. Logan is a masterpiece of comic book superhero movie making. Yeah, that's interesting. He's right, too. All of these great reactions, this guy's not going to be allowed back in after that tweet. This is why I don't pay too much attention to first reactions, like I said. But you have to consider the fact that it has positive test scores. So we'll see. By the way, Warner not done. He also showed a trailer for Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Well, we have a definitive answer, finally, after all those rumors. Is she out? Is she in? Is she staying? Why, yes, she is. Aquaman 2 CinemaCon trailer confirms Amber Heard. She is back 100%. I'm excited because this movie doesn't have the luxury of nostalgia. They're not whipping Michael Keaton out for this one. No. This movie has nothing to help propel it forward other than a Christmas release. And the fact that they kept Amber Heard, who's barely in the trailer, by the way, she has like a cameo in the trailer. It's a small scene. And I think she's maybe in the movie 15 minutes or so. 15 minutes too long, in my opinion. This is never going to get erased from the public's perception, at least for another couple of years. She's been doing a good job laying low, by the way. Things have really quieted down for her. I think that's intentional because this movie doing good is very, very vital for her to ever pop her head out of that desert she's living in now. So we'll see. I think it's going to bomb. I think it's going to have a tremendous flop at the box office because of the fact that, well, people don't like her. Ezra Miller has the benefit of not being part of a ugly public trial that labeled him as a liar. Amber Heard is public enemy number one when it comes to moviegoers, and thank God she's in that trailer. I was wondering if they were going to keep her out. So now everyone will get to see her face when they see promotions for this movie. I think this movie is going to be a huge flop. Not only will it be Aquaman 1, Warner's biggest superhero movie, making $1 billion, it'll also be its biggest flop because the second one has a much bigger budget, and I don't think it's going to make nearly as much money as that one made because of the fact that it's got Heard in it. Nobody wants to see her, at least not yet. She needs to cool off for another couple of years. Problem is, by then, she'll be well past her prime. She's already out of her prime. She'll have to play old evil stepmothers in movies. Which, that maybe that could have worked for her. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Check out my Rumble and Locals. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my Locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my locals.